In the crackling air of the late 19th century, when the world was still learning to tame lightning and the night was ruled by gas and fire, there lived a man who saw the future not as a distant dream, but as a tangible, humming reality. His name was Nikola Tesla, and he was a creature of pure intellect and boundless imagination, a mind so vast it seemed to operate on a different frequency than the rest of humanity. He didn't just invent, he communed with the very essence of the universe, translating its silent language of electricity and magnetism into symphonies of light and power. Born in a small village in the Austrian Empire, in what is now Croatia, his early life was marked by flashes of genius and strange, inexplicable visions. He would see an entire apparatus in his mind with such perfect clarity that he could test its workings mentally, down to the wear and tear on its gears, before ever committing a single part to paper. This mental laboratory was his greatest gift, a private universe where he could build and dismantle worlds with a thought. His journey led him to America, the land of opportunity, where he crossed paths with the era's titan of industry, Thomas Edison. It was a meeting of two titans, two opposing philosophies. Edison was a pragmatist, a master of brute force experimentation, championing his direct current system, a safe but limited technology that could only power a city block before its voltage dwindled to nothing. Tesla, on the other hand, was a visionary, a poet of physics. He saw a different way, a more elegant and infinitely scalable solution in the form of alternating current. The war of the currents, as it came to be known, was a brutal battle for the soul of the new electrical age. Edison, in a desperate campaign to hold his ground, publicly electrocuted animals with AC power to paint it as a deadly menace. But Tesla's technology was simply superior. With his brilliant induction motor, he could send power over hundreds of miles, with negligible loss, a feat that would light up the entire world. His triumph at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, where he illuminated the fairgrounds in a dazzling display of AC-powered light, was the moment the future truly arrived, and it was powered by Tesla's dream. With his fame secured and his fortune seemingly assured, Tesla retreated to his laboratory in New York City, a place that must have seemed like a sorcerer's workshop to outsiders. It was here that he pushed the boundaries of science into the realm of what seemed like magic. He invented the Tesla coil, a device that could generate spectacular arcs of electrical fire, a resonant transformer that he believed could be the key to wireless power transmission. Imagine, he proposed, a world without wires. A tower in Wardenclyffe on Long Island would act as a massive transmitter, pumping electricity into the very ground beneath our feet, allowing anyone with a simple receiver to draw power from the Earth itself, for free, anywhere on the planet. This was his grandest vision, a world interconnected not by cables, but by invisible forces, a global system for communication and energy that would unite humanity. He experimented with remote control, creating a radio-operated boat that stunned onlookers, and he delved into the physics of resonance, once nearly bringing down a building in Lower Manhattan by matching its natural frequency with a small oscillator. He was a man who could make the Earth itself his instrument. But, for all his genius, Tesla was a terrible businessman. His focus was always on the grand idea, the next magnificent leap, never on the mundane details of finance and contracts. His financier, J.P. Morgan, who had initially funded the Wardenclyffe project, grew wary. When he asked Tesla where he would plug the meter into this worldwide system of free energy, Tesla's honest, idealistic answer, that there would be no meter, sealed the project's fate. Morgan pulled his funding, and the Wardenclyffe Tower, Tesla's greatest hope, slowly crumbled into a monument to broken dreams. The man who had lit the world found himself increasingly in the dark, financially and emotionally. He became more reclusive, more eccentric. He developed an obsessive-compulsive disorder, demanding a precise number of napkins with his meals and a fear of round objects, particularly pearl earrings. He would walk around his lab 3 times before entering, and he claimed to be receiving messages from Mars or Venus. The world, which had once celebrated him, now saw him as a madman, a crackpot, a relic from a bygone era of scientific wonder. In his final years, Nikola Tesla lived a quiet life in a series of New York hotels, feeding pigeons in the park, and claiming to have communicated with one particular white pigeon that he believed was a pure ethereal being sent to him. He died alone in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel, penniless, surrounded by the sketches and dreams of a future he had envisioned but never fully saw realized. The story of Nikola Tesla is not just one of incredible invention, it is a profound human tragedy. It is the story of a mind so far ahead of its time that the world could not keep up, a man who wanted to give humanity the stars but was rewarded with obscurity. Yet, his legacy is not one of failure. Every time you plug in your phone, every time you turn on a light, every time you use wireless technology, you are standing on the shoulders of the forgotten giant. He was a man who dreamed of a better world, and though he may not have built it with his own hands, he gave us the blueprint, and in doing so, he truly electrified the future.